Okay friends, we'll do a 360-degree turn here of the sky over Westchester, Pennsylvania. We've had spraying for several days in a row, heavy, non-stop, day, night, doesn't matter. They keep going. And you get to the point where when you're dealing with contrailers, that's what I like to call the folks who refuse to believe that there's anything sinister about this spraying program, that you say, hey listen, fine, if these are persistent contrails, quote unquote, then I hate them too, and they should stop. My car, if it goes down the road, will be pulled over if I leave a trail that's 20 feet long. Looking at trails that are several miles long that pollute everyone and everything below. And the argument from the contrailers is that it's just harmless ice crystals. Well, it's more than just harmless ice crystals, even if it is just exhaust. The exhaust of an airplane is nothing to write home about. It's not something you want to stick your face in. I happen to believe it is far worse than just ice crystals that somehow multiply and expand and cover our sun. But just going with the argument that that's what it is, then they shouldn't be allowed to block our sun like this. This should be a perfectly blue sky. The bluest area that we have is over here, and this is where all these guys are headed. So if the whole sky should be even bluer than this, but instead it's a milky, yellowish, honestly a light brown, orange is also a common color to this disgusting action, then the persistent contrail should stop. And if the airline industry can't figure out how to make it stop, then people need to take action. Somehow a stealth bomber doesn't leave a trail behind itself because it does not want to be seen. Well, I don't want to see a Southwest flight or a FedEx plane or a Delta or whatever these guys are. And right now, those are longer, right there, than a normal contrail. And my guess is, at some point during their journey, they will extend those out, and it will leave a trail that will spread out over time and again cover our sun, and it'll end up looking like that eventually. And to me, it's one of the easier ways to battle a contrailer is just say, listen, fine, you're completely right. I'm an idiot, but I'm an idiot that likes my sunlight. And these persistent contrails, which for the record, I do not believe that's what they are, but if we want to just go with their argument that they're the smart ones and we're the dumb ones, and that persistent contrails are what we're dealing with, then turn the damn things off. I don't need to see them. I don't care who's flying over me. I don't need to know. This entire, everything that you see, I need to remember to look at my camera here and not just be blown away by this disgusting mess. Everything, that milky haze, that's not car pollution, that's not plane, or that's not from factories, it is drifting down from the sky. It is in our lungs, it is in our blood, it is in our stool, it is inside of us. And more than just global dimming, this is a biological warfare, and we are the specimen. We are being tested for reasons unknown. And I'm not a scientist. I have no idea. I trust people like Clifford Carnicom, who's been researching on Morgellons now for over a decade. There's some crazy stuff going on, and it is more than geoengineering. It is way more than geoengineering. It's like they might even just admit to geoengineering just to shut everybody up while they continue to test us in whatever way they're testing us with these biological nanofibers that drift down and embed themselves in our bodies. I don't mean to be an alarmist, but you get to a point where you say, listen, this is scary and this is real, and the fact that so many people still don't know, and so many people still just think it's normal, and so many people fight. People argue very hard for the persistent contrail theory, and they think we are as ignorant as we think they are. And that's exactly what they want us to do. Go around, let's just argue with each other all the time while no progress is made. And I'm really hoping that the folks who made what in the world are they spraying and why in the world are they spraying they're working on who in the world is spraying. And I'm intrigued because that's not something they've really touched on yet. It's an important part of the puzzle. I happen to think that it's commercial airlines. That seems to frustrate even people in the chemtrail community, who I guess don't want there's a new guy coming along, don't want to feel like the flight that they just took from New York to Miami had anything to do with chemtrails, but it most likely did. And I don't know how much spray they need. I don't know that it can't just be hidden underneath in the fuselage, where planes are a lot bigger than just where we're sitting. And I doubt nanoparticles are very heavy. And I happen to think that they probably react to sunlight in some way to grow and expand. So they could multiply significantly once outside of the plane. So they could certainly be hidden underneath, and it makes more sense just to use the airplanes that are already in flight. I talked about this in the last post that I made, and I'm going to cut it short, but you can see on the horizon, it's just gross and it's sad, and it's overwhelming. The degree to which this program has become the norm is worrisome, to the point that we might not be able to do anything to stop it. So we need to educate ourselves, including myself, on what we can do to detox ourselves. What can we do to stay as clean as possible while being poisoned every day, almost every day. In the Philadelphia area, it's generally between 60 and 70% of days, as I've recorded, that we get some type of chemtrail spraying. And of those days, maybe 15 to 20% are just disgusting examples like this. And I wish I knew how to stop it, folks. Right now I'm in educate myself mode and spread awareness mode. So be safe and look up.